What's good, YouTube? It's Danielsan here, and today I'll be sharing with you how I learned Japanese. So I'm actually half Japanese.
マジっすか？全然見えないんだけど。
Yeah, that's the typical reaction I get when I tell people that. Because I don't look Japanese. But anyways, I grew up in the States and I was only able to speak English. What made me decide to finally learn Japanese was when I had the opportunity to study abroad in Japan for my senior year in college. The moment that I got accepted to the university in Japan, I dedicated myself to learning the language because I wanted to be able to communicate with my family who lived there and because I wanted to learn my roots. I believe that it's so important to come up with your why, your reason for wanting to learn Japanese. It could be because you want to be able to watch your favorite anime, or you want to live and work in Japan one day, whatever it may be. It's always important to keep your why in mind so you don't lose motivation. I say this because, let's face it, Japanese, it's pretty hard. There were many times where I felt like quitting, but I kept reminding myself why I wanted to learn the language in the first place, and that's what kept pushing me forward to get to where I am today. So I had a few months to learn some Japanese before I went. I had already learned the writing system hiragana and katakana when I was a young age, so I skipped straight to learning the grammar. If you are new to learning Japanese, that is the first place you should start. It shouldn't take long. It's fairly easy. It shouldn't take you more than 2 weeks if you are practicing writing and you know making flashcards and looking at it every day. It shouldn't be hard. So what did I use to study grammar? Came across a website called Tae Kim's Guide to Japanese Grammar. This website is free and it taught me how to construct basic sentences in Japanese. It walked me through the particles like wa, ga, o, no, etc. It also taught me a bunch of conjugations. For example, 僕は昨日朝ごはん食べました。これから昼ごはんを食べる. So this website taught me basic grammar just like that. It's very easy, very straightforward. I highly recommend going through it in order. I feel like it's structured in the order that it should be, and it really helped me, and I highly suggest it to you guys. I'll leave the link in the description below for you guys to check it out. And let me know in the comments and for your honest opinion. So while I was studying some grammar, I also made sure that I was actually practicing what I was studying. Fortunately for me, I had my mom to practice speaking every day. So I would say like basic sentences to her like, 今日の晩ご飯は何ですか? 今から何作りますか? And sometimes I would mess up, and she would help me. She would correct my grammar. I had some little errors. It's really good to have that speaking partner. But if you don't have a Japanese relative, I'm pretty sure you can find many ways to find a partner online. It'll probably take a few minutes to just research something. You'll come across a bunch of language exchange websites. Maybe go on Reddit, or search for some apps. So we live in a digital age now, so it shouldn't be hard to find a person to practice with online. I'm actually kind of curious to know what's out there for people who aren't in Japan, who can't find anybody to practice with. So let me know in the comments below, as well as help others who are trying to find a speaking buddy. Let's all help each other. Even when I wasn't in Japan, I still tried to create an environment where I was always listening to Japanese, reading Japanese, speaking Japanese. It's very important to create that environment for yourself. You want to be immersed in this language, even when you're not there. I was able to do it. Some examples that I can give you: I was always listening to Japanese music while I was on the bus or the train. Just on my free time, I always maybe read something. I went to the library, got some children's books, easy to read books that already had the kanji in it. So I slowly built my vocabulary. I also watched movies. So a big thing about watching movies and anime is to not watch it with English subtitles. If you watch it with English subtitles, you're not actually listening, you're just focused on reading the subtitles, so your brain is not actually soaking in the information that's being played. Your brain's only focused on one thing, and that's the subtitles. So I highly recommend that you ditch the subtitles, because that's what I did, and it helped me a lot. I mean, because I remember when I was younger, maybe, in middle school, I used to watch Naruto, I used to watch One Piece, and I Bleach, and all those animes. I watched all of them in with English subtitles, and after like a few 3 years of watching anime with subtitles, I didn't learn anything. So yeah, uh, let's get rid of that. Even if you don't understand the what they're saying, it doesn't matter, because your brain, you're actually listening, and the more you listen over time, you're gonna start picking up the words. Like I remember when I watched Totoro. It's one of the anime movies by the Ghibli anime movies, and literally the only word that I learned from that entire movie was donguri. And that's just because they kept saying it over and over again. And, at one point I was just like, what is this word? So I just finally just paused the movie and just did a Google search. And finally I found out what the meaning was. I mean, I watched the whole 2 hour movie and learned one word, but still, that one word stuck with me, because my brain was actually able to pick it up, and now every time I think of that word, I think of the movie, and I feel like that's how your brain remembers things, is through, when you associate it with other stuff. And yes, that's what's helped me a lot, especially when you're studying grammar. You'll start to pick up the grammar that you listen to, and you'll learn some new words over time. Instead of English subtitles, I would use Japanese subtitles. So that makes it better, because you're learning kanji. You're able to like listen. They're basically reading it out to you, so you can pause and try to. If you're curious about a word that they keep saying, you could pause, and then I think it's a much more effective way of learning a language. Me, I love video games. I had a Nintendo since I was 5 years old. I played all those games, and so one day I finally decided, like, why not play it in its mother language? So I decided to. So I went on Amazon and ordered a Japanese Nintendo DS. It's actually right here. Got this. Got this. Got that Pokemon faceplate from Fukuoka special edition. But so I played Pokemon when I was, for as long as I can remember. I played through the stories over and over again. So I think the first game that I got was Alpha Sapphire, I think. So it was the remake of the Ruby and Sapphire game. So like I already knew what the story was, kind of, because I played it so much when I was younger. So just knowing the story, I can try to follow along and try to guess the meaning of the words. I would even pause the game and search up some of the kanji that I was kind of curious about. One word that I learned from just playing Pokemon was the word mezurashi, and mezurashi means rare. That was the one word that kind of stuck to me. I learned, I mean, not even just that. I learned so many words through Pokemon. Playing video games is my passion, and learning Japanese through doing what you like. It's a funner way to help you remember. So yeah, so that's basically what I did before I went to Japan. Once I got to Japan, luckily for me, they had already set up a friend for me, and so she was pretty awesome. She was really nice. She helped me just. I was able to just speak so much. She introduced me to her friends. While I was at school, I was always hanging out with the Japanese crowd. I just now that I'm in Japan, it's even easier. But one mistake that people always make is they didn't immerse themselves even though they were there. They would just hang out with their English speaking friends and always speak English pretty much 80% of the time. And that's not gonna help you excel. You really have to, you got to put in the work and just, you got to use it. And that's why I can argue the fact that even though I was there, like, you can say that it's unfair that I was in Japan, but you still gotta actually be present there, because a lot of people weren't present there. I know people who lived in Japan for like 11 years and still can't speak the language. Speaking English all day, every day. That's if you do that, then that's the result you're gonna get.
So that's basically what I did to become fluent in about 6 months. If me sharing my experiences and strategies helped you in any way, please hit that like button. If it didn't, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to improve over time for my next videos. I'm planning to upload more content like this, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm also streaming Japanese video games on Twitch, so follow me on there and come hang out on my next live stream. Thank you for watching my video and I hope to see you again soon. Remember y'all, it's Danielsan. Peace.